training log video with commentary. Week 5, Day 4, dynamic upper day from Thursday, rounding out the first major block of this meet prep. The acclimation phase. Just 4 triples today with 165 on the speed work for bench, so 2 sets less than last week. And then the workup with the close grip and the same setup. Got up to 195 for 8, and honestly it felt like I probably could have banged out another 2 reps or had another 10 pounds on the bar, so which is good, but I just wanted to shut it down there. I didn't have a spot again today, so just kind of was conservative. It's a sign that things are on the right track. Beginning of the off-season cycle, I think that would have been a very difficult task to do what I just did that day, so we're seeing some good improvement. Some more slight incline dumbbell benching. Again, same as last week, same weight, same setup, but I did manage to eke out all 3 sets of 20 this week. So it looks like next week I'm going to bump up the weights, but unfortunately I do not have 80-pound dumbbells, so we're going to make a pretty big jump up to 85s, but I'm okay with that. I'll just get what I can, I guess. And then some neutral grip pull-ups going with the wider handles. I really like these. It's been a while since I'd used these handles for my pull-ups for the neutral grip, and I felt that it felt a little more bench press specific the way my elbow angle was and the way my lats were recruited. But we added 20 pounds and just added 4 sets there, whatever I could, and then followed those things up with some regular back work like I normally do. Nothing all that terribly exciting, I know, but in terms of something else I wanted to kind of briefly talk about that I thought about while I was editing this video and looking through some of the footage was briefly discussing, technique for moving weight. So, technique is obviously very, very important, especially when it comes to your major compound lifts, squat, bench press, deadlift, overhead press, bent rows, things that could put you in substantially harmful positions if you're not careful. However, I think some people have also gotten to the point where this has been taken too far, to where you watch people do skull crushers, to where it's like almost too perfect, to where they're barely using more than just the bar, or they're doing some curls and it's just anally perfect. I think at some point you do just have to just put some weight on the bar and freaking move that sucker. If you want to be anywhere remotely big, strong, look good in a shirt or without your shirt, it doesn't really matter. What made me think about that was watching my pull-ups with my last couple reps. They're not the cleanest. They're not the best. They may not even be high enough by some strength coaches' standards. But I don't think that's going to prevent me from not getting stronger, if that makes any sense. I don't think it's where you want to be cheating in certain areas. I guess what we could call it is cheating. But sometimes it's also a little warranted if it's going to extend time under tension, or if it's going to make you work harder, or it's a challenge set, or it's a drop set, or something like that. I think those circumstances warrant you to use a little bit of body English sometimes. At least then when it comes to powerlifting, when you're on the platform, your reps probably aren't going to be perfect. They should be as technically proficient and as perfectly as you can get them, but anybody that's up on the platform knows when you take 100% plus of your personal best and you try to move it from point A to point B within the guidelines of the federations and all that kind of stuff, things are going to happen. Your knees are going to cave, your butt's going to shoot back, your butt's going to come off the bench, your elbows are going to flare a little bit. You're probably going to need your back a little bit on your deadlift. You have a hard time getting your glutes through. Your back going around a little bit, your upper back going around a little bit. That, I think, is just not only part of the competitive nature of the sport, but I think it's something that just has to be accepted to some degree, and that training is, for the most part, pretty safe unless you're putting yourself in some pretty hazardous positions. I don't think that me cheating on those neutral grip pull-ups a little bit is going to affect my longevity in the sport. If I'm doing bent over rows, though, with 315, I can guarantee you that my technique is going to probably suck, and I could have some lower back, lumbar issues later down the road if I would continue to do that long term. So you got to kind of pick and choose your battles. I think there's times where you need to be strict, and there's times where you also just need to train. I mean, if you cheat a little bit, big whoop. If you're getting proper stimulus and you're getting stronger and your lifts are going up and you're getting bigger, whatever your goals are, and they're moving towards that direction, and there's a little bit of cheating involved, I think that's fine. I mean, I think bodybuilders have purposefully done that on certain circumstances, and it's basically stood the test of time that a little bit of cheating's okay. So don't get too riled up if your curls aren't perfect, your press downs aren't perfect, your extensions aren't perfect, your leg curls aren't perfect. If you're increasing your time under tension, you're increasing your weight, you're working hard, I think you're going to be okay, because nowadays I feel like with training, people just aren't putting in the work. They're expecting the magic supplement or the magic training program or the magic app, or reading all these articles and being super, super honed in on very minor details, when people forget the fact that you just got to nut up and kind of lift the weight and do the work. I'm very happy that I think majority of my clientele fall within that group where they just work hard. I do want to help them be technically proficient, especially in their main lifts, more than anything else. But you don't have to be overly anal on minor details. So I think if you take more time and put it in towards the work and just work hard, I think you'll see just as much benefit than keeping everything super proficient in your dumbbell rows or your skull crushers or things like that. Obviously, if it causes you pain, then you need to stop doing it, but I think that kind of goes without being said, that if something's causing you pain, you probably shouldn't do it. But it's just something that had been on my mind, watching some stuff on Facebook and watching some people do some of these just exercises that seem absolutely ridiculous, or almost so perfection, but yet these are the skinniest guys showing some of the examples of how to do things. When you look at some of the more, I guess, well-equipped lifters when it comes to strength and size, they're not making videos about these special little exercises and how to properly do them perfectly. They're actually probably just doing them and then explaining them to their clientele the best they can, and how it could benefit the program or the goals or what have you. So, okay, enough of that rant. Week 5's over. Deload, be a little bit of a deload for week 6 over the weekend. I might shoot some stuff, I might not. I haven't decided. I have to see how my time is going to pan out, and if I want to get the camera out. Like I said, I've got a couple guys in meet prep, so they're going to come first this weekend, and we'll kind of go from there. But then Tuesday and Thursday will resume back to normal for me for the most part. A little bit of changes, but for the most part, I'll still be deadlifting heavy, and then some speed bits to work it up. Just try to stay healthy. But that's all I've got. Thanks for checking in. You keep up with all my stuff over at elitefts.com.